As a renter in a commercial space, we usually have something called a triple net lease. So that is your base rent, property taxes, as well as maintenance and management of the building. So your base rent is simply the value per square foot, but on top of that we have these other expenses that increase as the years goes on based on the property taxes applied to the building or any other expenses that might come through. What we're dealing with here is kind of a multi-pronged approach to us, where we have some issues with the city, with the flexibility that they've been giving to developers for developing industrial lands. We've seen a lot of industrial lands turn into residential or mixed use, which is causing this speculation on pricing. And then of course we have the province, which is responsible for our property taxes, and not necessarily understanding that a small business cannot absorb 30 to 40% tax increases every year when the services for this building have not changed in any way. We're not getting 40% better sewage treatment or garbage collection or anything for that kind of money. It feels like if you were using a building for its intended purposes and creating a business and creating jobs, that there should be some sort of, perhaps even a grant program to lessen those taxes, versus if you just are sitting on an empty building, then maybe those taxes should be higher. Very similar to how we're dealing perhaps with some of the vacancies in residential spaces. We also moved into this neighborhood because of the density. It is actually an attraction to this neighborhood. We are one of the highest densely populated brewery districts in Canada, and as such that brings people to a neighborhood that maybe 5 years ago wasn't such a popular destination. So there is an advantage to all of us being here, but I think the offset of that is that we've raised the profile of this neighborhood, and as such we're seeing these rent increases and such.